So this is the iPhone 15 Pro Max, and it's been out for about 10 months, and it's the best iPhone you can buy right now. Now we have the all-new Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 6, the most premium Samsung you could buy. It's the highest priced model in the lineup. Let's see how the iPhone 15 Pro Max stacks up against the Galaxy Z Fold 6 in this speed test. Alright guys, so as always, let's go ahead and begin with a boot up test in 3, 2, and go, and see which one can get there first. Now, the iPhone does have the A17 Pro chip. We are going to go to the A18 series here in just a couple of months for the iPhone 16 line, but you'll see Samsung with the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3. Now, the 8 Gen 3 has been out since the Galaxy S24 Ultra, so this isn't a brand new CPU. It's been out throughout the year, and we do have 12 gigs of RAM on the Z Fold 6. Booting up much slower there, it looks like, than the iPhone 15 Pro Max with its 8 gigs of RAM. So the iPhone 15 Pro Max wins it out there on the boot up test. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and take a look at the Face ID, and you'll see biometrics wise, the iPhone 15 Pro Max is one of the smoothest, easiest phones to unlock out there. However, there's no fingerprint sensor, whereas there is one on the Z Fold 6. Embedded within the fingerprint sensor are the hardware button right here to power on and off. That's also an embedded fingerprint sensor. So you can just kind of go ahead and just go like that. As always, just rest your finger right there and it will unlock. So pretty cool little feature right there. Also, if I go ahead and take a look at this, you do have a face unlock. It's not always 100% when I got the camera in front of it, but it doesn't even require a swipe. Although I wouldn't rely on this as the main method of unlocking. It's not the most secure method. I'm not sure if it works here on the, let's see if it works on the inside. Yeah, it also works on the inside. So you can also use that same face unlock on the inside of the Galaxy Z Fold. So more methods to unlock for Z Fold, but definitely if you were trying to do it quicker, I think the Z Fold is faster because you can just remember to put your fingerprint right there. So while the boot up was quicker on the iPhone, I think you can get into the Z Fold 6 a little faster than the iPhone. All right, guys, so we're on iOS 18 beta 3 for this speed test. Now, I know it's a beta, but this beta has been so stable. I tested this. I've tested 17. The apps launch, everything is about the same smoothness. So this test, while it is a beta, it doesn't really matter. I've already went through these apps multiple times. Nothing is crashing. So it's all good. You could see iOS right there running really smooth for sure, as always. Animations are really buttery smooth. And of course, you have pretty just much a simple experience that you've been having. You can place icons wherever you want, but we're still having them in this orientation for the speed test. Now, the Z Fold 6 is on the One UI 6.1.1 with the latest security updates, and it's pretty darn smooth as well. It's just like the S24 line. So this is the S24 version of the Fold. So if you like the Folds, but you wanted an S24 kind of boxier shape of the Ultra, you'll love the Galaxy Z Fold 6. That's definitely pretty much what it is. And scrolling through, buttery smooth as usual, what you would expect from Samsung here in 2024. All right, and we're going to be using the inner display for this test because this is where I'm using the Z Fold the most, is on the inner display. And let's go ahead and take a look at the calendar. And you'll see that looked a little faster for the Z Fold coming out. Pretty much the same animation there. Let's go take a look at clock here. Z Fold with a snappier animation, it looks like. Go to timers here. How about stopwatch? And you can see overall very good. I also noticed on the newer Samsungs, you could kind of like do that same thing like iOS, the non-linear animation thing where it just kind of, you can close it before it even opens. It's very smooth. Let's go into calculator. Again, the Z Fold looks like it has a little bit of a faster animation. Apple finally bringing history to their calculator along with math notes. So it's a fun year for doing your numbers. Let's go into weather. Faster again on the Z Fold. So again, with the snappier animations, we'll go into Samsung News versus Apple News. See who can do that better. Looks like Apple had that, but there was a pop-up. Let me go ahead and close these out. I want to run that again. Let's rerun the news. 3, 2, go. Yeah, that was faster for the iPhone for sure. And let's go ahead and get up out of there. We'll go into Play Store, App Store. The Play Store, App Store looked nearly identical. Let me know which one won down below. We'll go into games. And And that was faster for the iPhone. We'll go into Instagram now. 3, 2, go. And looks like we had the Samsung a little faster. Even with the pop-up, it looked a little faster. But I want to run that one again too, just because I don't like when they do those pop-ups. Let's go into Instagram. Yeah, that was the Z Fold. A little bit different on the profile pages, because this is the different tablet orientation. Swipe up out of there. Let's go into Starbucks. Faster on the iPhone. And I don't know about you, but I probably wouldn't scan the Z Fold like this if I was getting my coffee or whatever, my frappe. I probably would put it in the smaller mode because this would just look a little bit weird. Let's go ahead and go into Groupon. And you'll see Groupon on the right. We'll go into Retail. And you'll see faster on the right, even though it's loading up more content than the iPhone 15 Pro Max, it was faster. We'll go into Amazon on both. And that one's going to go to the right here once again. And let's go into Jetpack Joyride. And don't take it too seriously which one I'm calling. I'm looking through a camera. I could miss one in here and there. Call me out on it. Say, no, Nick, that one was wrong. It's okay. You know, we're only human here. So you'll see, no, I'm not a robot. I'm a human. So we can't make a mistake here and there. People getting in their feelings too much, thinking, oh, this guy, he's wrong about this and that. Bro, we're having fun over here. You don't like it? You don't got to watch that. Let's go into Subway Surfers. And you can see right here, bang, over there on the right. And then now on the iPhone. I mean, come on. That was the right. Like, it was very clear. Clear as day. And I turn off those deep sleeping apps on Samsung as well because it can close things in the back to save battery. Both of these do now have game modes though. iOS 18 brought that so they can both game at a higher performance. Let's go into Dead Trigger 2. And you can see, looks like the iPhone a little bit of a lead there. We'll hit play. And Z Fold now in the lead with a bigger screen, a far bigger screen. Let me know which one you would want to game on. This massive gaming experience right here, or this dynamic island distracting gaming experience here. Some people are going to get mad about that too. Oh, the dynamic island doesn't matter. You know, listen, you know, for me, I'm paying over $1,000 for these phones. I want an all screen. I want an all screen iPhone. I want it edge to edge. No, nothing, just pure screen. You know, I'm paying this kind of money for it. It's about time. That's the dream iPhone right there. Let's go into Temple Run 2. What do you think? What is your dream iPhone? I want to know down below in the comments. Comment down below. What is your dream iPhone like design? For me, it's an all screen, like from edge to edge. We almost have that where the dream has almost completed, but not quite due to Dynamic Island. So let's go over here. And I'm not saying it's not fun. Dynamic Island is a fun software experience. I like how it does those little features and stuff too. I'm not immune to that. I enjoy that. You might like it as well. But to me, it's a temporary bridge solution till we get to the all-screen dream. Let's go over here. And I actually think Apple will bring an all-screen iPhone before they bring a foldable phone. They are just dragging their feet in the foldable market. Let's go into, because they haven't even entered. They haven't entered. So we'll see over here. Who's going to get this one first? PUBG. It's going to go over here to the iPhone maybe. But I would much rather play PUBG on the Z Fold just because of the space. You can see the map. You can see what you're doing a little bit more. You can see people creeping up on you a little bit more on the Z Fold, a little more space. Actually, a lot more space. So definitely look like the iPhone was loading that up first, though. We'll go into Speed Test Net. And it's faster on the left. And InShot. Faster on the Z Fold. And you can see that the Z Fold, man, doing really well here. Beating out the iPhone in several areas in performance. We'll go into Geekbench 6. And the iPhone there. And 3D Mark. And that one's going to be the iPhone. Let me do that again. I think I clicked the iPhone a little bit too fast. 3D Mark. Nope, it was the iPhone. So I wonder what Apple's going to do this year. This year, the Samsungs have been beating them in a lot of areas, and I wonder if they're really going to push the performance to the next level once again on the iPhone. I don't think they like this, that their iPhone is getting beat out in certain areas. I would say most of the apps had faster animations, a little snappier, quicker feeling on the Samsung over here, with a couple of games and a couple of apps loading first on the iPhone. Overall, in terms of the pure speed feel, I probably would give it to the Z Fold here in this app test. Right, so let's run it through the RAM management, where the iPhone has a great touch response, an excellent animation performance, and near flawless performance in this area. Like nothing reloads ever. It's a really beautiful experience here. And that's just me missing down there. I don't see any real chop, nothing like that for this phone. Really buttery smooth. That was just beautiful. Look at that. The only time it looked a little choppy was me missing right there. It wasn't the phone. It looked really great. Now with 12 gigs of RAM, let's see how this does. I actually wanted a 16 on this phone. The OnePlus Open got 16 gigs of RAM, so I was expecting this to get it, but didn't get it. PUBG looked a little bit different than the iPhone over there. I do feel like going through the apps still doesn't look as smooth as the iPhone, but it's holding them in the same format, like they're not reloading or anything, so that looks good. Yeah, Samsung really stepping it up this year, holding those apps really well. Non-linear animations, very good. However, the overall like smooth factor, I think they're just one update away, maybe one UI 7, just one update away, and it's going to be exactly matching that of the iPhone in terms of that polished, buttery feel on the relaunches of the apps. So let's take it over to apple.com here on the internet browser test. 3, 2, go. And you can see faster on the left. I always go to both websites for both carriers, or both manufacturers, excuse me. We'll go to Samsung here, and we'll go to Samsung here on this one as well. And let's hit go for both of these. And which one would I rather browse on? Well, it kind of depends. When I'm being like on the go a lot and I just want a simple one-hand phone, I'm probably still liking the 15 Pro Max more. But when I'm chilling on the couch and I want that full web browsing experience, I love the Z Fold more. I think it's better in that area. I do think the Z Fold can get a little uncomfortable with its squared body, the corners. It's just a big feeling phone in the hand. You'll have to use 2 hands to hold this thing regularly, but you do have the benefit of a much more spread out browsing experience. Zooming wise though, you know, both of them do a really excellent job here, both multi-touch displays, so no real issues. In browsing, Safari versus Samsung Internet is pretty tight in terms of the actual speed and performance. It's pretty close there. So if these benchmarks are any indications of their actual performance, the Z Fold has already lost here on Geekbench 6. 6904 versus 2784 on the multi to the single. We're still running at 87%. So Z Fold taking much longer to finish this test would probably indicate that the performance is better on the iPhone. But the iPhone this is Geekbench though. A lot of people say this is a biased benchmark. So we'll see what the Z Fold finishes what here. 96%. And then over here on single, you'll see this is actually averaging slightly less than the average, probably due to the beta. But even on the beta, you've seen the Z Fold loses by 700 points on the multi and by 700 on the single. But I think that's going to change when it comes to the 3D Mark test. So this test right here does do the graphics. So let's go to Extreme on 3D Mark. And I'll go ahead and download this, and I'll be back when this extreme test is done. It's about a 1-minute test to test the graphics, so I'll be back when they're done. All right, so the final wildlife extreme scores are in, and the Z Fold 6 has lost this test as well. 3087 versus a 3856. Average frame rates are 18.49 on the right versus 23 on the left. So Z Fold scoring better than 69% of devices, iPhone scoring better than 87% of devices. That's a little shocking considering that the S24 Ultra had beat this phone pretty easily. And yeah, so the S24 Ultra definitely beat this. So maybe I'll have to rerun this. Maybe the phone's hot. Let me feel it out. Yeah, it's a little bit toasty, not bad, but I didn't expect that. I thought the Z Fold would win this test out, but it didn't there in the Wildlife Extreme. So the iPhone winning out in both benchmarks, probably the more powerful overall. But when you say powerful, we're just talking about the pure chip here. When you want to talk about what they're capable of doing, we have this image sketch where it can generate AI images, we have all this multitasking you can do on the Z Fold. So power is subjective in how you're going to use this power, because you can't even do a split screen on the iPhone, whereas you can do multiple split screens on the Z Fold. I think there's enough room now for 4, but they're still only allowing 3, but you can still do at least 3 apps at a time. So definitely a lot more powerful in terms of what you can do with the phone on the Z Fold. But in terms of that chipset here, it looks like the iPhone has taken the victory. All right, so let's go ahead and see which one can launch the camera first. Now I'm gonna put it on the front screen for this so I don't miss the icon. Let me go ahead and back out the lens, hold on. Let's go ahead and do the camera now. 3, hold on, I'm about to drop the iPhone right there. 3, 2, and go. And you'll see it looked a little faster on the left. 3, 2, and go. Yeah, the iPhone launches that quicker. Snapping the photo, shutter speed. Going through the lens, the iPhone looks a little smoother as well. That transition on the Samsung looks slower. So yeah, the iPhone's camera is also quicker than the Samsung's, it looks like. Also, you can also use this on the iPhone. You can also use the action button as a camera launch button. On the Samsung, all you have to do is kind of like, hold on, it's got me locked out here. All you got to do is just swipe right here. You can go into the camera easily, or double click the power button right there and go into the camera. So they got their different ways of accessing it. All right, last thing we're gonna do here is a speed test, Wi-Fi speed test. Same network, same servers. Again, I don't have the fastest Wi-Fi in the world, but it's not slow either. It's pretty decent. We'll see if the iPhone can pull in better signal strength here on the Wi-Fi. And you'll see it's pulling in about 410 today and about 408 on the down. Now on the up, we're looking at about 14 to 20. We're at 20 Mbps going to 22, 23. About 23 on the upload, we're going to finish at. Closer to 24. Yeah, we're finishing closer to 24 there. Let's see if the Z Fold can beat it here. I have bragged about Samsung having better connectivity before. And here we go with over 500 so far. Samsung pulling in nearly 530. This is the same server, same network. That was over 130 better on the download on the same server, same network. So it's like, that's what I'm saying. Like Samsung usually has the better download speeds, I find, when I'm using these phones, and over 24 on the upload. So faster upload as well. Samsung takes that test. Wrapping it up here, I think technically the iPhone's chipset is a little bit more powerful. However, with less RAM, it will probably reload an app before the Samsung would. Although the ones that it does keep open, the animations are a little smoother. But again, the Samsung takes a lot better advantage with this inner display, multitasking. The Z Fold is just a more powerful phone in terms of how you use it. There's just no way around that. It also costs way more than this iPhone right here. So this iPhone is a super powerful option as well. Pure speed, though, I'm probably going to have to give this one to the iPhone. How you use it in terms of its powerful nature of features, it's going to the Z Fold. So that's how I would sum this up in performance. Thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't already. I'll catch you all in the next speed test. Nick here. Be sure to be well, and peace.